Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to The Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463. Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Batiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us this evening for a special edition on a special day of Society Now, right? So
because it's the eclipse, right?
It's an eclipse.
The eclipse happened, or it's happening right now, right?
It's like 8 weeks of eclipse. That's what we're going to call it, because we're going to do this a little special on a Monday. Monday's a fun day.
Monday fun day.
So this is going to be amazing.
Yes.
Because it's invigorating. It's exciting. It's igniting.
Come on.
It's what we do on Society Now. This thing's happening. The weekend was hot.
The weekend was hot.
We're going to bring it to you. My name is Kira Laws, and you can follow me on Instagram at The Modern Day Cindy. And this is... Dun, dun.
Dun, dun. Hello, everybody. My name is Allison Bullock, and you can follow me at Miranda Inc. on Instagram.
Come on, Insta.
And hello to everybody on Facebook Live. We have, for the next 7 weeks, well, 8 weeks, including today, we're going to be on Mondays at 6 p.m. instead of Wednesdays. So for those of you that kind of watch and are like, hey, what's going on? We are on Mondays temporarily. So we just kind of came to you earlier on in the week. Okay. So we're not your hump day anymore. We're like your wham bam in the morning, like first thing on Monday. Technically, we're kind of after work, but you get what I'm saying.
But it's important because it's society. Things happen over the weekend that it might not be as fresh, but we get to get it.
Yeah, because over the weekend, a lot happened. Let's talk about it.
It's a hot cup of tea.
It's a hot cup of tea.
It's not cool anymore. It ain't.
No.
It's not warm. It's hot because stuff was happening all weekend, y'all.
Yes.
One of the things that I thought was interesting, I mean, it hit me in a special place as I
have
a child, right? Similac is recalling their formula. Now, my daughter hasn't had formula, but they're recalling formula because they said bug parts were found in the formula.
What in the world?
Now, we know this could possibly happen. I know, like, when we were younger, I remember, like, my mom being very careful about, when buying flour and stuff like that. She wanted to make sure you closed everything up, seal the bag and stuff like that, because I remember little bugs, the little black bugs. They said beetle parts, I think it was, that was found in the sealed Similac that was being purchased.
So it's interesting because the FDA said that while the formula poses no immediate health risk, for those who consumed it, it did contain the beetles or their larvae, their little
the eggs,
right?
Yeah,
the eggs experienced symptoms of gastrointestinal discomfort and refused to eat it.
Yeah, I can imagine because it's a beetle.
It's literally the baby's eating bugs.
Because the parent doesn't eat bug, right? The mom, when she's pregnant, she's not eating bugs, so the baby doesn't have any reason to think that that's normal. So the body can't digest it.
True.
And it's unfortunate because a lot of people are very dependent on formula. They can't, for many reasons, give the baby anything else but formula.
Yeah.
So when you have to make switches like that, it does affect the family. They have to find out something they trust. And sometimes it makes it hard for them to trust anything, especially a packaged thing. So that
goes back to you guys Googling, and researching, like maybe once a month, the product that you may be your tried and true products, because sometimes it's not reported in the news.
Absolutely. And
sometimes it's on the website. Sometimes, on, I know specifically like mommy blogs. I know, Kira, you follow a lot of mommy blogs. They kind of give you those type of alerts. And then like you need to know, just to be aware, always stay aware.
Yeah, you want to stay aware. Like you said, it's important to research. Do your own research. Don't expect that this information is going to be given to you. You have to do your research. So that's important. Now, this next article, I personally think is amazing. I think it's very amazing because this is a conversation I think I've had with myself for many, many moons as a child growing up. The importance that the Black family actually starts, I'm going to say, spoil with air quotes, our children. I don't know how. And I read it, and it was saying in the wake of Charlottesville and some of the stressors that African Americans face, a lot of our generations that have passed and preceded us, they raised their children they were stricter, they were more stern with the kids, and it was because they felt like they wanted them to be able to survive. Now they're saying it's unfortunate because now the children don't have, or the children are being raised and they don't have the innocence. Their innocence is lost. They don't know what it is to have it. They've been robbed of it. They're being made to make adult decisions at such a young age. So they're advocating, please start spoiling. And I say spoiling your children, which means give them a break. Let them be kids. I'm for this. Let your children be kids.
So I'm going to really kind of keep this brief because this is our society second. We always talk about how others view our culture in the media. But I also think that affects us as well.
Yes.
So a lot of times, this is actually researched. African Americans punish their children harder. And I think one of it said, and I thought this was interesting, a study found adults seeing Black girls as less innocent, shocking everyone but Black moms.
Yeah. And you
see what I'm saying? And so in situations like that, I think you should check your rubric on how you discipline your children. Because I know, and I've seen specifically a lot of parents harder on Black little boys. Oh, they need to be a man at 2 years old. They need to man up at 3 years old. I'm like,
I mean, even how they like
the terminology,
or even how they say, well, he don't need to do that, and they like try to, hit him hit pop whatever a certain way, and I'm like, you don't really have to do that because they're kids and they're learning. They learn by making mistakes. Like there's a way to coach them through certain things without being enforcing any type of physical punishment. So we're not saying that you spoil your kids to the point that you don't correct and discipline
not
them.
at
That's
all.
not what we're saying. But what we are saying is it's important to let them be kids. Let your children be kids because they're missing out on some fundamental things. And I can speak from my own experience. When I was growing up, my mom was very much, she was very strict because she came from a different place, a different generation where she had to survive. She, so she came from New York and the projects and things like that. And although she made it, she raised me a lot differently. So I was raised very seriously. Very seriously. Everything was, education and this and that, but it was never fun. I didn't realize what real fun was until I grew up. I mean, but I had to learn it very weirdly because it made me awkward. It was very socially awkward. And so because of that, I think I missed it. I excelled in other areas, but I missed the mark when it came to social adaptability. So it's definitely,
it's a great perspective. And just for all the parents out there, just, we can't tell you how to raise your children, and we're just talking about things that are affecting our children. We would never talk about this issue 20 years ago.
Oh, absolutely not.
Like this would not even like spoil your children. What do you mean they are spoiled? You can go to college, you can do this, and it's a different form of that word.
So good.
You see what I'm saying? It's a deeper meaning now.
Okay, so let's. Oh, I wish we could do a deep dive on this. We have to do a deep dive on this one day because
a special edition maybe one day.
Special edition now. Because you just said something. It's relative.
It's very relative.
What you consider a spoil moment for one generation is not the same for the next. And you have to realize that they're still children. So figure out what the child wants, not necessarily what the parent wants for the child. There's a time and place that parents put in what they want for their kids, but you can't force it on them at such young ages and they don't really have an identity. But let your child figure out what they like, because a lot of kids are really skilled in different areas, but the parent wants them to do certain things, and that kind of maybe derails them a lot of times. And we'll talk about that another day. I'm excited about that.
Again, view your children as innocent, and and make sure that you spoil your children.
Spoil them.
Just love on them.
Love on them.
Love on them. Listen to them. And this is not for every single parent. This is just what research is saying. So just the FYI.
And you don't have to raise your voice to communicate.
No.
It's not necessary because they hear you. Okay, so Jay-Z addresses the Kanye West San Pablo tour rant. Now, I remember when the tour was going on, and this is when Kanye had an infamous breakdown on the stage, and he was saying, Jay, you my brother, give me a call, and Beyonce, pretty much how you do me like that. I heard that you said you weren't going to perform if you didn't get an award or whatever it was, something real foolish. Well, he actually went on a show this weekend, a radio show, and he addressed it. He was like, we've had disagreements in the past. So he's even talked about me on an album or whatever. But when you talked about my family, you went too far. He was like, you went too far. He was like, and I'm sure he knows that he went too far. And I'm glad he was able to say it. He was like, I'm good if it was just me. He said, my wife and my kids, you can't bring them into it. For this reason, this is why, he was like, he was like, he knows. Mm-hmm. Now yeah.
So this is the reason why I kind of like that Jay-Z addressed it. So Beyonce and Jay-Z are known to be very, very private about their personal life. And it seems like it was very strategic.
Yeah.
Both albums that happened from Jay-Z from the Mrs. Carter tour down to the Lemonade tour. And then this album 444. Is it 444 or 444? Okay, anyways. So you get what I'm saying.
And then they went on a run somewhere in between.
And then they went on a run somewhere between that. And I think that he addresses so many issues that a lot of people talk about. I applaud them because the way that they have dealt with discrepancies, arguments, whatever the case may be, has been very tactful. But it hasn't been in a very... It hasn't been in a very, oh, well, no, everything's okay. It's been like, well, no, there were some issues. Here's it, and when it comes to all different issues, and I think that right now, specifically for Jay-Z, he's heads everything kind of head on. Personally, he calls himself out. He calls other people out, and he's like, look, I'm not claiming to be perfect, but these are the things that I'm not going to allow. And I applaud him for that. And the timing of it. Yeah. Because he actually had the interview on a podcast. Yeah. This wasn't on some...
Which makes it unique, right? I mean, we love podcasts, right?
You gotta love that because you know why? Because awesome things happen on podcasts.
Absolutely.
Hashtag the sphere. Get ready. Okay.
So yeah, and I think that's what I like the way he did it. Like, he didn't do it. It wasn't shrouded in any mystery. It wasn't like he addressed it head on. He talked about issues, but he made it very clear. Like, I'm a family person. I love my family. He also addressed the issue with Salon and the elevator. He was like, "That's my sister, not my sister-in-law. My sister, and I love her."
And that was it. I loved that.
I mean, he addressed a lot of things in that interview, and I'm glad he did because it puts to rest all the rumors. Like, no, we brothers and sisters. This is what we do. People fight. We've had one argument since that was the argument, and that's the only argument we had. And I think it was great that he did it. That's a grown man.
It's a grown man.
Okay.
It's a grown man. It's a power couple that's making a lot of money doing it. So kudos to them. But speaking about money, we've got to give it up to this portion of the show, which is sponsored by our favorite Houston Housewives of Finance. Did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% or more than 77 million of Americans do not pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month, and 39% of adults say that they do not have enough in their savings. Do not become one of these statistics. You guys, this is great. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy today. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or email us at info@HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com. Ask how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new face of the new age of financial services. Shout out to Houston Housewives of Finance. You guys, we say it over and over again. I know a lot of people really don't want to talk about money, especially when their money is funny. Go to Houston Housewives of Finance. You guys, there are some solid people that will give you some amazing advice and will help you on your financial journey.
Okay, now let's do this quickly because we don't want to spend too much time.
Yeah, we're gonna literally spend a second, like a bite.
I just want to know. I mean, I'm really sensitive about this for so many reasons. You just had to say that.
I did.
You did
because I think
so.
It's
there
great.
was a pastor from Tennessee, Memphis to be exact.
William Henry Dewberry III,
and he there was a post Nicki Minaj picture on Instagram, and of course, If you guys know how the algorithm works on these social media sites, if you're
Yeah.
friends with someone, you can actually see when they post a comment. You may not be, you can see the likes and you can see the comments.
Like their comment will appear out
As
of the
if-
thousands, 2,000.
You can see what your friends are saying.
Exactly.
Right. And so apparently a parishioner,
For those that don't know, a pastor.
no, a parishioner, a member of the church.
The member of the church.
Okay.
That's saw it.
Saw the post, and the post actually said that he wanted to take a bite. I'm going to use the clean version of Nikki's
Her rear.
her rear. And so he pretty much blasted him. He blasted him. He did, and he blasted him for a few reasons. Because number one, he's a leader, but number two, he's a leader with a family. Now, my issue with this whole thing is, I understand that you saw something that was appealing to you, but was there any other way that you could have kept it on the inside, brother? Could you have dealt with that thing personally, like on a private, take it to a private matter? Like, you didn't have to put it out there. I mean, because people.
So first and foremost, you guys, I'm going to try to be lighthearted about it because social media has done enough to Elder Dewberry the Third.
Yes.
They literally have, because they've had side by sides. And what happened was he posted the comment on Nicki Minaj's page.
Absolutely.
And one of his members saw it and was like, "This is the pastor of I'm sorry, let me get this right. It's an elder at the Church of God in Christ in Memphis, and he's got a wife, kids." And he posted that he wanted to take a bite out of crime. I don't know. So I think the reason why this made society now is because there is such thing as people seeing what you do. Your integrity is not just what happens behind the scenes or in front of the scenes, but it's also behind the scenes, and people are watching you. Social media literally helps people form who you are. Pictures, comments. So that's why, we always tell people, be careful what you post on Facebook. Be careful what you comment on Instagram and all that kind of stuff, because people can see you. People can see that, and the way that all these social media sites, they want to constantly keep you engaged. So it's like, out of 1,000 comments, oh, I see that the modern day Cindy said that she liked those pair of shoes, whatever the case may be.
And let me tell you a funny story. Let me just interject right there, because I know we have, hi, Jurius King. Let me just tell you this. We had
a bite out of crime. The best thing I've heard all day. Wasn't that good? I thought that was good too.
I remember that. I don't know who it was. It was some celebrity, and they posted that they were on vacation, right?
Yeah.
And of course, a vacation picture, you post yourself with your bathing suit on or whatever. And I think it was like a guy and a girl. I don't. It might have been Usher, but Usher before the scandal. I don't remember what it was. But anyways, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine texted me, was like, "Hey girl, I saw you like that picture," and I was like, "Yeah." I was like,
was she stalking you, low key?
I was like, but then I started paying attention. She's like, yeah, I see that you like it because it came across my timeline. I said, well, you follow the same page that I follow, so you see what I like.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I don't like him. I like the picture, right? So it was just weird to me. So again, make sure that when you're liking stuff, you put a lot of thought into the stuff that you like, because you don't never know who's watching what you're liking or commenting on and making judgments about you and your life. Because they don't know your life.
So with that being said, I'm going to repeat it. We say this all the time. You guys got to watch what you post, watch what you like, watch what you comment, especially if you hold some type of position where there are other people trying to hold you accountable. Let's just be real. So with that being said, we never want to say goodbye. We just want to say see you later. And when I say see you later, that means that you're going to have to subscribe. How do you do it? I'm glad you asked. So make sure that you subscribe through iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, or Stitcher. And don't forget it's The Sphere. Review our show on iTunes and give us constructive feedback. We really want to hear what you're talking about. Mr. King, I know you love that punchline, and if you think that's good, you need to catch us after like that 15 minutes, like it gets real. Don't forget to share your Facebook Live post, the entire show, with all your friends and family, and donate. You guys, this is some great soil. This is a great network of people, a great network of shows, and you can be a part of that by by donating, going to www.thesphere.tv/donate. I am tongue-tied today. Probably because that pastor done bit up all kind of stuff. But anyways, that being said, we're gonna talk to you later. Have a great day. Take care. See you later.
got to get some signs in here.
I was like,
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's focus over here on this side of the room because she's so crazy. Okay, so this was a crazy one, you guys. This was really crazy. So I still love some Chick-fil-A. I still like Chick-fil-A. I don't eat it as often as I used to, but I really used to like Chick-fil-A. Now, apparently there's a lawsuit, from a suburban Philadelphia woman who got an extra topping on her sandwich, and it was a rodent that was fried into a Chick-fil-A sandwich that she had. She actually said that she thought something looked a little funny at the bottom of the bun, and when she turned it over, she realized that the rodent was there. So, I'm trying to figure out, before you even ask, this is what I want to know.
You know, I have so many questions.
The persons in the back that put the sandwich together, did they not realize something was wrong? And then with the person that actually put the wrapper on the sandwich, did they not realize anything was wrong? Like, where's your QCQA? Like, who is checking?
But this is so interesting. So every time, for those of you, of course, we're based in Houston, Texas. Chick-fil-A is like a staple. Like, everybody that I know loves Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is known for a couple of different things: family atmosphere, great food, and typically you're like, it's clean. Now, in my mind, I'm like, Chick-fil-A is like healthy. You see what I'm saying? It may be deep fried or whatever.
But you can convince
But
yourself.
I feel like it's like that
It's
good
chicken.
It
ain't
like that. It's a different kind of
It's not
grease.
like fried chicken on the
It's not
bone.
like
it's chicken.
it's
Chick-fil-A.
fat fried. It's like that low fat fried. You
It's
see what
a
I'm saying?
fillet of chicken.
It's a fillet of chicken. You see what Chick-fil-A.
Fillet.
So when I heard this, I'll be honest, it took a piece of my heart, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I love Chick-fil-A. I do, and you've heard nothing but good things. I've never heard. I mean, I think they were in the news maybe one time. That was
not about food.
That was not about food. It was just
about
more
their
about
positioning.
their positioning on certain things. But as far as food, they're known to have great food, great quality food, clean. So when I heard this, I was like,
so now I got to
like Chick-fil-A.
Now I got to start looking through my lettuce.
That's like, Bucky's having a bad bathroom. It's like,
I hear everybody talk about Bucky's bathroom.
Bucky's has the best
and everybody's
bathrooms.
like, Bucky's have the best bathroom when you're on the road. I'm like, I have to stop, intentionally take a road trip.
No, seriously.
And stop at Bucky's bathroom.
So if you are ever like, so
You
this is
have to
another thing
map out
for
a
anybody
trip.
that knows, that has any type of connection to Bucky's or Chick-fil-A,
We're here
I
for y'all.
believe that they need to go ahead and advertise on the Sphere. You've got two people that'll be great advocates for you.
Yes.
And don't forget, you can
Yes.
donate at www.thesphere.tv/donate. Awesome.
Yeah.
So for Chick-fil-A to have that, I was more like, no.
Yeah,
Like, I don't believe it. But then I read it, and then it was like, no, the lady's like, no, she saw it, like whiskers and all. I don't.
I see the whiskers and the tail.
Yeah, she said she saw that, and I saw the picture, and
it was that was what it was.
It was a rat.
It was a rat.
It was a rat,
and it's really disturbing for us on so many levels. But so the cautionary statement is for anything, whether it's at fast food restaurants, a restaurant, when you go buy your food from the store and you cook it. We've heard instances of where people have opened up salad packs and they seen things in it, like
stuff.
So just be careful when you are cooking or preparing to eat, that you check your food before you take a bite.
Yeah.
Just check. Anything could happen. I remember. Well, we're not going to go in there,
we
but
need to tell that to the pastor.
You mean?
Great. And we're done.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom. Done.
But what does the butt ship say about him, though?
This is like the perfect segue.
I mean, because
y'all, we're clearly not going to do butt jokes. I'm done. That was the last one.
Apparently, there's an article out that says the size or shape of your butt can diagnose how healthy or not healthy you are, and they talk about the triangle butt, the square butt, the
and it's
round
pretty much where
butt.
the fat is distributed. Like, is it up? Is it round?
down?
Is it low?
Yeah.
Here I thought it was just genetics, but they broke that thing down
it's
to
not,
health.
and, which is good because a lot of people claim that the size of their butt and how it looks is based upon genetics. They just say no, not necessarily. It's actually based upon your lifestyle and how you might be predisposed to a certain body shape.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean your butt is going to look like that. And that's why people are able to change the body, the look of their body by exercise and eating right. So this is actually probably very encouraging for those who thought that they could not do a certain thing or have gone to very extreme measures to change the way they look. There are actually some changes you can make just by eating right, exercising. You don't necessarily have to doing extreme stuff.
It says here that experts say a lot about the fat, say a lot about your health, which we already knew, but the fat near the chest and the upper parts is really unhealthy compared to the hips or butt. And so it's interesting for those that don't know, I'm adopted and I recently connected with my biological family, and health wise, and even the way when we pick up weight or we lose weight, the fat distributes the same place on me and my sister. And it's crazy. So when I read this article, I'm just looking at, not that I'm like staring at my sister's butt.
You
like,
are.
That's weird.
You are.
But I'm looking at how both of us are
checking how we're
shaped.
in.
And when we picked up weight and we've lost weight, where our fat distributes. And I'm thinking about our lifestyles and what we're doing. Similar lifestyles.
Yes,
and it makes sense. So I think that goes back to paying attention, which is something that I think before we had all this fancy stuff and internet, the way people found out if they were unhealthy was the way how their body reacted to certain things, right?
Or they just got sick.
Or they got sick.
Right.
But your body tells you, like, you know that you're gaining weight, even if you've never stepped on the scale, when your clothes can't fit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You know, when you're losing, when your clothes can't fit.
And I think this is a good, except for a health check matter, just a good way to encourage people not to make excuses about genetics.
Very
right?
much so. Very much so.
Just because grandmother was overweight doesn't necessarily mean mom has to be overweight too. That doesn't necessarily have to be her path, because grandmother's path might not have been that path originally, because her mother could very well have been very slim, and it could have been, you know what I mean? It could have just been bad choices in eating habits and health issues and stuff like that. So this is take control of our health and I thought this was interesting because as women are always very focused on their rear end. So it's like, so yes, you can have a round butt or whatever butt, but understand that where the fat is on your body actually determines how healthy you are. So be careful about what you're really desiring, right?
And Kira, I'm going to go ahead and just piggyback that really quick, because the next topic is amazing. Be careful of coveting something that you don't organically have.
Absolutely.
Because you don't know what's going on, or because some people want it, some people don't want it. But be careful, because people are putting semen and all this other kind of stuff in unnecessary places that were never meant to be in.
And God bless those who actually went through those extremes, and God bless their families of those who lost life behind doing things like that.
People have died.
Like, so we encourage a healthier way of becoming
whatever
you want to be.
Yeah.
Just,
it's a healthy route.
It's a healthy route.
Squats.
Squats actually work.
They work.
Eating healthy actually work. There's some really cool things you can do. One day we'll talk about recipes. One day.
Hashtag, because we cook.
We cook.
Okay, my last little hoop.
Oh my God. Well, it's teeth time, people. It is teeth time. It's teeth time. This portion of the show is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, our vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We are committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and a friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are a part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable. Dr. Baptiste and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Ashandra Baptiste at Elite Dental Wellness at 713-789-8680. 713-789-8680. It's teeth time, people.
Seriously, every time she says that thing, she always shows the perfect smile.
It's important, I mean, because when I was, because this is the thing, when I was younger, I would smile all the time, and then somehow in life, someone told me I smiled too much, so I stopped smiling. And people why are you mean mugging? I'm like, I'm not mean mugging. I'm not smiling. It's not a mean mug. It's a not smile, right? It's a difference.
I used to sing in the choir, and I remember as a kid, I would be in the front, right? And I smiled so hard, and my mother would be on the third row, because she wouldn't sit in the front, because the first was front row was past, the second row was whoever, the pastors, I don't know. The third row was my mom, and she would be like, Allison. She'd be like, close your.
Because you were happy.
I've always been the smiler.
Yeah, I don't know if my smile was offending people. I thought it was pretty
Smiles
cool.
do offend people.
And then
it makes people uncomfortable.
Right. So I stopped smiling. I was like, well, let me just not smile. Then they were like, well, why are you mad? I'm like, I'm not mad. I'm
because you can't please people. You can't please people.
I was like, so I just went back. I started stealing other people's smiles. So when people see me smile at me, I'm going to steal one. Smiling back at you.
People really don't realize how funny she
smiling
is.
Back. I'm a smile stealer. I'm stealing smiles in a good way. I'm not breaking hearts. I'm stealing smiles.
Elite Dental Wellness.
All right. So
Get
let's
your own smile.
Get your own dang on smile.
Boom.
Boom. Okay. The 5 commonly misdiagnosed diseases in Black community.
This
Okay,
is
so
some
this is
good
good stuff,
stuff.
right? This is good. Now, I think, and this is what's really good. A lot of times, African Americans have health issues, and
Yeah.
because we have been, not historically, but throughout out of time, generations, and throughout the years, from our parents, grandparents, stuff, a lot of them stopped going to the doctor because they were scared. We had the Tuskegee experiment and other things that
Yeah.
helped, prevented them from seeking help when they needed it. But this list was really good because these are things that are misdiagnosed, not diagnosed, not treated the way it should be treated among African Americans, and we don't realize how sweeping these diseases are in the African American community. The number one was lupus.
Which is interesting because I hate to say it, but you hear that thrown around. I was told I had lupus, and lupus is
It's serious, and it might not be lupus, y'all. It might be something else. I mean, you might have lupus, but it's good. I say this is misdiagnosed, but also you want to always get a second opinion because you might not have what they say you have, or vice versa, right?
Yeah.
So their lupus was one of them. I can never say this one. Sardosis.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. COPD was another one, and COPD is it's an issue. It's a big issue. Hepatitis C and hypothyroid.
Now that's interesting because I have known a lot of people who have been diagnosed with hypothyroid and they claim it. Like I know some people medically have been like, "Hey, no, I'm literally."
I know that. I know.
Like,
I know.
There's some people that's like, "No, I think I have hypothyroid."
And I'm like, and they're self-diagnosing.
I'm like, and I'll be honest, I love WebMD.
Oh my.
So Kira always laughs at me because I feel like I was a doctor in another life because I believe that WebMD gives me my PhD, like my MD, like seriously. I feel like it does. And I will be like, okay, so friend, I have this and all I need to do is just take this. She's like, would you go to the doctor? I was like, no, girl, I just went to WebMD, girl. Like I'm like, but if you go to WebMD for certain things, you'll think you're about to die. Because some of the symptoms, you're like, I have headache, fever, I'm about to have a heart attack. I had a heart attack.
And exactly. So that's the thing. Like if you try to self-diagnose, which we don't realize a lot of symptoms are similar to other symptoms. And it takes a skilled, trained professional to be able to tell you, actually, no, you don't have this. You actually have this. And there's certain things they will tell you to look for. Now, I think the internet is great because it does give you some ideas of what to look for if you're concerned about something, right?
Yeah.
But I would always back that up with still go see a doctor. And if you don't necessarily have health insurance, they always have like clinics that at a low cost and things like that. But you want to be able to see it. You don't want to self-diagnose because you may not be treating the right ailment. That actually might be a byproduct of the root issue, right?
That's true.
So you want to treat the actual root issue. We're not doctors, but we actually advocate going to see a doctor for health issues because you want the right diagnosis, especially in our community where we have we have as many health issues as other races, but it seems like a lot of ours go undetected. So we want to stop any premature death.
And I know there's a show on the Sphere called The Docs. So they actually may say this, but I know the last time that I went to the doctor, they really encouraged jot down. Like if you start having a symptom, like if you have a headache on Monday and they start asking you like general stuff like, well, how long have you had it? And sometimes if you don't write it down, like, okay, well, it started on Monday. I've had it since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh man, it's been 10 days. And you're like, oh, I've had it for 2 days or 30 days. Like those different things really make a big impact on deciphering what you have. So writing different things down helps you. And even like, hey, these are the following concerns that I have. So when you go to the doctor, it's just not 1 or 2 different things and letting them know before you go in, because now a lot of doctors allocate the timing to see your visit based on what you need. Like, oh, I just need to go in for a common cold, but you got a common cold, a rash, your foot's swollen. You need to tell them about all 3 of those things. So just FYI.
Because it's not, nothing's ever really isolated, right?
Nothing is never isolated. Majority of things
majority of things. Okay, so this is where we're going to have like our speed round, right?
Yep,
we're going to
let's go.
Speed round because a lot of things are happening and the legal community is catching up to it. So last weekend was Charlottesville, right? Not this past one, a couple of weekends ago. And now the persons who organized the protest are being sued for $3 million. I think it is actually right to bring a lawsuit against the organizers because they had to know that organizing with that type of platform was going to create an issue from the community.
Yes.
So I think they should be held responsible for their negligence.
That's awesome.
How about this? Chris Long broke the NFL's protest color barrier. I think it was amazing.
Yes.
I think it's amazing. He was like, it's time for people who look like me to start stepping in and fighting for equality.
I'm so glad he said that.
I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing that he was not. I mean, I think he wasn't scared to do it. And
was he the only person so far?
I thought he was like number 2. I don't remember. I think my husband was telling me it was another guy who actually sat on the side with another player.
Okay,
but I don't get his name.
I believe that deserves a hand clap.
But absolutely, because this is a fight that we can't fight alone. We need everyone to link in, join arms, and understand. This is anytime you blackball somebody from their profession because they decided to take a knee respectfully and peacefully because they didn't want to stand for as a time of injustice. I think that is something that we need people to support us on because it's not disrespectful.
I agree.
Now, this next story is about Tommy Lauren. Now, we know who she is, right?
Yeah.
She is probably, she's much talked about. She recently lost her show, but she used to be a person who she actually, I'm going to say that she evenly fired with everybody. But when it came to the black community, she made sure that she was heard, right? It was interesting that she actually is dating a black man who happens to be a Republican. But this is the thing. Nobody cares. No, so when he's driving in his car.
Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that?
Well, this is the thing. You can say it because this is the question. It's not even about is he asleep, right? When he's driving in his car, he's still who he is. Yeah. When he goes to the store, he's still who he is. And I hope that he can identify with that reality. And hopefully the silver lining in this situation that maybe he's able to explain to her some of the real black issues without it being confrontational because they might be romantically linked. She might be willing to listen.
And the reality of it is sometimes it's not even going to have to be a conversation. You know why? Because his skin's going to speak louder than his voice ever will.
So she'll be able to see it. Something. She might be able to actually observe it and be empathetic to it. Because there's sometimes I think I actually had this conversation in my head. I was like, I just don't understand. I still don't quite get what the offense is with Black Lives Matter. I still don't understand. And because I don't have a Black Lives Matter shirt, I'm not a part of the organization, but I'm a black person and I do believe Black Lives Matter, but I believe all lives matter. As well. I don't think one life is more important than the other. Mm-hmm. I think they're all equally important. I think when people say Black Lives Matter, I think what they're really saying is that we matter too. And when you have a lot of things that are, things that we've seen in the news over time that would suggest otherwise in our community, I think it was important as a race that we band together to start saying that statement, not just to other ethnicities, but to even to one another. Like we matter to one another. Yeah. Like, so let's start treating each other in such a way, not just outside, but inside as well. So I still have not quite gotten that message, but I'm sure we'll have some circle back about that. This is a win. Breastfeeding in jail. So it was a 33-year-old Hispanic woman who gave birth to her child, was incarcerated, and she was fighting for the right to be able to breastfeed her child. This is historic because she actually won the case. Yay. And not only did she win the case, the judge was also able to get her an electric pump. So she was able to still pump for the baby when the baby and her are separated. Because, she can't, I'm sure they can't bring the baby to the jail every day.
Every time, yeah.
And that was one of the things I was concerned about when I first heard about the case. I'm like, will she still be able to maintain breastfeeding even though she's incarcerated? I think, of course, you lose your right, but you shouldn't lose your right to supply food, right? Yeah. So I think this is a big win in New Mexico. Hopefully this becomes something that they do in all states, regardless of race, age, gender, all that. Like it doesn't become this is only in New Mexico because New Mexico is different. And, I think all states should adopt this because they're still parents, right? And you don't lose your right to be a parent because you're in a jail.
That's true. Now, this is definitely hits close to home for me, you guys. For those that don't know, I am really big on anti-sex trafficking. So for those that don't know, in Harris County, it's a pretty big thing here in Houston. More than 250 people were arrested in sex trafficking crackdown in Harris County.
Including a pastor.
So wait, so you guys, we're not trying to get on pastors today.
I love the men of God and women of God.
You guys we love the people.
The people of God.
You see what
I'm saying?
love
all people, actually, to be quite honest
all
with
people, but it's just, if you guys look at, it's a lot of people that they arrested because of it. And to the point where, for those of you that know, there are certain streets that are known to, have prostitution. So this is a huge win. So shout outs to the Houston Harris County deputies. They arrested 161 alleged sex buyers, while the Houston police arrested 88 alleged sex buyers and 9 alleged sex traffickers. So although I hope one day that the alleged sex traffickers that are actually getting these women are more fun, because those are typically the ones that are harder to catch.
Oh yeah, because it's definitely a strategic.
It's a strategic, and it's a big time hierarchy. A lot of people are like, "Oh no, it's not like in the movies where the pimp is just walking down and you got 3."
We've graduated.
It's a business.
It's 2017. We got the internet.
There's probably an app for it, that we don't even know about. Seriously,
you just said something.
There's probably an app about it. So just FYI, this is hopefully one step of many in the future of cracking this down for good.
For sure. So this portion of the show is sponsored by The Sphere. Are you starting your business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. Again, the number. What is that number? They need to call us.
They need to call. The number is 832-772.
7789. Y'all call or email right there.
No, seriously. And I said it's like a billion times, but I'm going to say it one more time for your mind. This is a great platform. Like, you guys, if you are not investing, if you are not donating, you need to watch. You need to subscribe. You have got to be a part of this movement. And this can only happen with you. So we need you.
We do need them. We do.
So with that being said, let's talk about
the mystical. Like, well, I don't really want to talk about it, but we're gonna talk about it briefly.
I just don't understand it.
Okay, briefly, we're gonna say that
reportedly, because this has not been.
No,
he hasn't been charged yet.
Well, he hasn't been charged, but he's he's charged.
Oh no.
Okay, he's charged.
Okay, all right.
Okay, no.
Okay,
this is happening.
Okay.
They collected enough evidence to match him. And his accomplice was a woman, charging them for rape. They was able to catch up with the woman, but they wasn't able to catch up with him.
Different.
He has definitely changed a lot since we've known him to shake it fast. Watch yourself. Shake it fast. Show me what you're working with. The problem with that was he actually served 6 years before for sexual misconduct. And so now he can potentially go back to jail again. I'm prayerful that, number one, the person that was actually raped or alleging rape is psychologically okay, because I can imagine rape is just not, you don't ask for that. And especially if it was a woman and a man, I don't know what the deal was with that, but prayerfully that person is okay.
We've talked about this before on this show, and because you guys, we really push healthy mental states. And not saying that mystical is not in a healthy mental state, but typically those that have been sexually abused, it's people just treat it, it's more than just an act. It's something that really can be treated through therapy and other different things. So if it's something that constantly happens, what we're hoping that if this happens to be true, that he gets help, so that this won't be something that he has to struggle with, that he can hopefully overcome. And for those of you, even if it's you that's watching this video right now, and you're like, hey, that's me, go get help.
Please get help.
Like, go get help, because there are some people, I know friends that have worked in professional fields that say, a lot of their clients say, I can't describe it. Like, I don't want to do it, but I want to do it, but I don't know how to not do it.
It's impulsive. It's an urge. It's something. I mean,
it's like that itch you just can't scratch. And if that is you, go to a psychologist. Like, there's rules of confidentiality to go and get help if that is you, because if not, we don't want to see you behind bars consistently.
We don't see you behind bars at all.
Yeah, if it can get to that,
yeah, but definitely not more than one time.
But if you do it, we want you behind bars.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you have committed a crime, we want you to get help,
get you locked up, and then get help.
And it's so funny. I can't really say everything I want to say right now, but
that's why I stopped right there. But locked up, check, help.
But what I will say, I am different in that I feel like sometimes it obviously, yeah,
okay. I know where you're going.
Obviously, jail does not always correct issues.
It does not,
because there's a deeper issue there. So I hope that as a community and as a country, we figure out ways to help people that are actually having these issues, because it's psychological, it's physiological, it's a lot of things happening. Because to me, if jail was a deterrent, we wouldn't have so many repeat offenders. So that's something to consider too. And I don't know what the fix is. I'm not saying you don't incarcerate people. I'm just saying we have to figure out what's actually a deterrent for repeat behavior. And people, and start diagnosing people and handling them accordingly. Now, we have a lot of other stuff to talk about, but are you okay with us dropping it down a little bit and taking it slow?
I am. Oh, but I do want to just say this one thing about James Harden. Just really, really quick. Like 2 seconds, because I know our time is shut out. And the reason why I'm saying I'm so... no, we're not here. No,
you
great.
You don't have to. We don't have to wind it down if you don't want to. I just wanted to kind of go down to something else, but you can go ahead and talk
really quick. It's gonna be quick.
Go ahead.
Shout out to James Harden.
No shout out. No, I'm just kidding.
shout
out, bro.
I'm cute. We applaud all colleges.
I'm an alum from Texas Southern University.
But we HBCUs, we just love it when people are giving back to the community. So James Harden gave $100,000 to Texas Southern University.
And he did not go to Texas Southern
And he did not attend the university. And that money is going towards scholarships for students in like financial need. And I just think that's so great. I came from a background in higher ed. So I love to hear when celebrities are those that have the money that invest in the future of students. So I just said, I think a good old straight clap for James Harden right there. We just love it. We love that you gave to Texas Southern University and just for the future of students. I think that's amazing. So good job.
I think that's important that you said that.
I did. Okay, I'm done.
Well, I just wanted to talk about a few things that were ironic before we wrap this thing with a bow.
Got it?
Okay. So this is irony, and it's kind of funny, but it's not funny. It's funny, but it's not funny. Okay. So this is ironic. So a wife of a politician in Texas who was big on an anti-gay crusade, she divorced him and left him for her lesbian partner.
This is some scandal stuff. This is some scandal stuff.
So you were married to a man who was anti-gay. You divorced him and left him for your partner. I want to know. It is scandal.
Do you really want to know?
I don't want to know.
Okay.
But when you look at the picture, it's giving me scandal vibes.
Matter of fact, I think Chandra saw this.
She saw this.
She saw this happening.
What was that movie that I love? And it's like the author wrote everything that was happening about Tahara Crick. Remember, I let you write. It was like, okay. Never mind.
You always asking about these movies, and I
if
give you this look like, what? I don't remember
you
half the movies.
movie, and she was like, okay. Anyways, so I thought that was interesting, and it's irony to say the least. Okay, so recently, the leader of the North Carolina chapter of Ku Klux Klan, his name is Christopher Barker. He threatened a Miami-based Univision reporter. Pretty much told her, "You are the first black person on my property, and I will burn you."
Oh, that's amazing.
This was like a couple of days ago. And she is actually, she's Afro-Latina because she's from Colombia. So she just got here 15 years ago. But he pretty much let her know that her kind wasn't welcome and he would burn her. Now, this is so deep, you guys, because it's what I thought about immediately was how do I say this? I live in a world where I can go to a grocery store that I don't have to necessarily shop in a segregated section, right? I don't have to worry about discrimination, particularly when I go to the store. I don't necessarily think about, is this person a racist? Because we're hearing more and more stories like that, we're seeing more and more stories like that, it makes those questions arise. Like, do they actually accept me as a person? I think about that when they talk about persons that we have to bank with, we buy products from, because I don't think about discriminating against people, but when you have groups like this that say things like that, I'm like, why would you say something like that? Why would you say something like that?
I'm just going to say it doesn't surprise me. I hate to say it like that. This doesn't surprise me. And I'll be honest, I'm thankful that he actually didn't do it.
Well, I'm absolutely thankful that he didn't do it.
And I hate to say that, like, that's my train of thought. Because before it was just like, oh, don't say it. But now you got people that are literally actively using their hate to fuel to really end people's lives.
Yeah, no, I get that. But it makes for like, how can you tell walking down a street who is for you and who's against you? That's what scares me. You see, I'm like, because it's not like, I mean, in this picture, of course, he had on his paraphernalia, what he represented, but that's not always the case.
Yeah, it's blue jeans and a white shirt.
Yeah, I'm like, and you can
or a
just
black shirt.
Or khakis or whatever, you know, and you can be nice to somebody all day, but will they return that? And so I think the bigger thing is you guys just understand that everyone is not as peace loving as we think, which is fine, you know, because it takes all types of people to make the world go round. We need all types of people, but it's just a scary thought and sentiment that you are doing your job and someone threatens you like that.
You know, I'm going to go to a story because it made me think just about being strategic. And I've got to applaud UT Austin, because with everything that's going on, I think as far as the removal of the remaining of the Confederate statues there, they did it the right way.
They did it before stuff hit the fan.
Number one, they did it before stuff hit the phone, and they did it that night.
And let's talk about this though. And we don't have this in here, but let's just cover this. Last week, Six Flags over Texas was asked to remove the Confederate flag, and they said they weren't going to do it this week, and they did.
So this. Okay, so I'm going to say this really, really quick. I was watching another station, and the commentary from a particular person said, you know, I don't understand. I get why you want them, but why did y'all wait so long? I would think that you would want these things taken, like you could have taken action when Martin Luther King died, or when, and so the additional commentator said, well, no, because at one point in time, we were still fighting for our rights. So the concern was number one, you were still needing to be heard as a person. Now you're to a place where you're being heard as a person, and now there's different demands that you can make.
Right.
Like, hey, the statues kind of represent something that we really don't want to celebrate. We need to remove them, especially if we're trying to be collective. And I thought that was really interesting. And so when I read the whole article about, you know, UT moving it quickly, they were like, look, Monday morning, just a few hours, the president ordered to take them down. It was no rallying. It was like, boom, done. We're over. And UTA is known to be a PWI, a predominantly white institution. So it's just interesting how this is stirring up so many communications, because I never thought of it that way.
Well, I think what they said is something that I thought I was like, someone's going to question why they didn't have
like, why now?
But it takes the collective movement of people, because the statues coming down wasn't just a black person pulling the statue down. It was people that did not everybody was pulling statues down because they're tired of injustice. And when you have the collective body moving towards that, then things can happen. It can't just be one group, because a lot of times that one group's voice, no matter how many of them there are a number, isn't loud enough to create change. And it takes, like they said, not just civil rights movement, but generations later for it to even have impact to where what Martin said, he saw us together, happening now. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't happen initially. We did have freedom fighters and freedom riders and stuff like that, but the collective action of so many people, it just did not happen as quickly. So yes, you have to be strategic. You have to move a little at a slower pace, just to to ensure that your rights are cemented. Yeah. So, you know, I'm grateful, thankful for UT doing that without having to be told to do it by some protest. Also, this past week in Boston had a beautiful protest in the city where there was like thousands of people. The cops were peaceful. Everything was peaceful. At least 500 cops were there, and it was just a beautiful showing.
Very simple,
Also in the news, there was something, the reverse of that, where there was two young ladies that happened to be Caucasian who actually went to Howard University,
which is a predominantly
black
African American, which is the HBCU, a historic black college university.
And they went to that college with their Make America Great hats on, and their one young lady had on a Trump shirt. And when they arrived on campus, you know, of course they were kind of looked at weirdly. And then of course the debate happened on Twitter, and the girls were pretty much saying how they felt like they were being treated weird or differently. And the comment on Twitter was like, how did you come here with that, knowing that's not what we represent? And it wasn't a black white thing. It was just like, what that hat represents is not is not necessarily, I guess, for that institution is not what they represent. So actually Howard issued a statement, and the statement that Howard issued was really great. It was like, we are definitely about freedom, equality, and all that stuff, but we will not stand for, pretty much subversiveness, which was great that they said that. And then of course the memes were awesome, because the memes are what they are.
Yeah.
But I think honestly, all in all, I personally, if I did not mean any harm with that type of hat or shirt on, I would never go to a predominantly anything with something that could potentially be misread or misleading. I understand that it is American. You can wear what you want to wear, but it might give the feeling that you're trying to, poke. It might give that feeling. So you just have to be wise, just have to use a little bit more wisdom. You can stand for whatever you want to stand for, but you don't, that just wasn't, I don't think that was a wise decision to make, because it makes it seem like you're doing it intentionally.
Yep.
So I don't know I don't know. I don't know. We can go deeper on that, but we're not going to. Okay. So the most interesting thing that happened in the past 24 hours was this report that was released that said that our current president has now surpassed, or is on pace for surpassing, President Barack Obama's 8-year spending on travel. So much so that the Secret Service is now broke and they cannot pay their staff. No money, more problems. And now this is the same person before he became president. Or they said that he used to always talk about Barack Obama's spending budget in 8 years. Now his 8-year spending budget apparently in this 200 days is almost on pace of outspending 8 years of travel.
I think that this country
I love America.
I think this country is amazing. And I think the good thing amongst many about President Donald Trump is that, whatever he, uses and it taps out, he clearly has enough money. He can just dig in one of his stashes.
But that's not what's going to happen.
No, I'm just, look, I'm trying to make light of it, but yet again, something like this doesn't surprise me. I mean, anytime that you have pretty much just shut down certain, blocks because you don't really want to move into the White House for the first however many days, and you want to stay in your own building, which, you have the liberty to, but that's at a cost. I don't know if any president has done that before.
You need Secret Service.
And you need Secret Service, and you need all that kind of stuff. All those bills add up. So hopefully this will be, the last thing that the United States needs is more debt. But it will work itself out.
No, it's going to work out. Let me tell you why. I'm going to tell you why it's going to work out. Because this is something I think the country needed to see. I think the country needed to experience a different type of president. I think he's not a politician. He's a business person.
He is definitely a business person.
And so it's a different procedure. Everything's very new.
It's a different mindset.
Everything's very new. So because of this experience, I think we're, as a country, we're going to start looking at how do we, as those who run for office have changed because of their background and their experience, how do we balance that with the role of that office? So I think we're going to see not necessarily changes because of him, but just in thought of some of the things that have occurred. Like, okay, so now what happens when you don't have a career politician in this seat?
Yeah.
Now we need to start considering these things like housing, like, what is it, their business. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going to have to be considered, reevaluated, and planned for, because it wasn't planned for in the past.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Planned for in the past. I think you're amazing.
Yep.
Well, we are almost out of time, but I just want to circle back real quickly, and blessings for the speedy recovery. It was a young girl we talked about, circling back to her, that was actually burned at a sleepover by one of her friends who poured hot water on her, and her face was burned. Well, now her face is actually recovering quite nicely. Before, her skin was like almost white. But coloring is coming back in.
Good.
She's smiling. She said she's happy to be at home. And we just thank God for the speedy recovery, because that was my main concern, because you don't want anybody's life to be altered based on something that was supposed to be a fun outing. Change
something
your
just
whole
careless.
change your experience because of a careless, not thought out prank.
Yeah.
And also we experienced over the weekend a death of a trailblazer. Two losses. Dick Gregory passed away this weekend in his 80s, and also Jerry Lewis was passed away in his 90s, and we thank God for their lives.
Yes.
They definitely left a legacy in activism. Dick Gregory, his comedy, and also as well Jerry Lewis in his comedy and all the fundraising he did as well. So I'm grateful for what they've done. Civil rights activist Dick Gregory dies at 84. He lived a full life, and he did a lot. He did a lot. So, we just, for the Gregory family, for the Lewis family, shout out to strength and peace.
Strength and peace, and, definitely a rest in peace.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. for them. So although we're going to end on a peaceful note. How about that? Giving acknowledgments to both legends who passed away this weekend. So with that being said, we hope you guys have an amazing rest of the week. You guys make today better than tomorrow. Or make tomorrow better than today. You get what I'm saying. It was like, that was supposed to be so deep. And it was so wrong. Today, it's the Wednesday on Monday.
Today better than tomorrow. But tomorrow better than yesterday. We're going to fix it.
Make tomorrow better than yesterday.
Don't worry about today, because today has time for itself or something like that.
There it is. Hashtag insert deep quote. Feel good emoji. We're going to see you. I'm adjusting to Mondays, y'all.
I think I like Monday.
You're good. Monday's
like
good.
The whole news cycle, like what happens over the weekend.
No, this is good.
It's not, but we thank you guys.
We thank you guys so much. Hopefully we'll see you guys again on Monday. You guys, it's been amazing to see you. We love you. Have an amazing rest of the week. Again, my name is Allison Bullock. You can follow me on Instagram at Miranda Inc. And this is
Kira Laws, and you can follow me on Instagram at The Modern Day Cindy.
Woohoo.
So farewell until next time. See you guys next week at 6.
At 6 p.m. on Mondays, not Wednesdays.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
See ya. Take care.